Over the next few weeks concerning this show, people are going to ask, who asked for this? Why do we want this? Who was this made for? In this video, I'm going to explain who exactly this show is perfect for and why I think it could be a decent-sized success. Hello witches and my Flickering Myth family, my name is EJ and welcome to our channel. In this video, we are going to be discussing Agatha All Along, the new Disney Plus series which is a spin-off of WandaVision. Prepare, get your cauldrons, let's brew some potions, and we have a lot to talk about in this video.
Follow me, my friend, to glory.
For my first bit of Agatha All Along coverage, I'm going to do an overview of what I have seen. In this first section, I'm going to answer that question, who is this for? In the next section, I'm going to be reviewing the episode 1 and the episode 2, and then in my last section, since I've seen the first 4 episodes, I'm going to give you a preview of episode 3 and episode 4. It is quite delicious. This show has a lot of stuff to get into. One thing I will say, if you are a hardcore Marvel fan, you have that notebook that says, well, this thing is connected to this thing and this is connected to this. At least at first, this is not the show for you. I cannot see the overall MCU connections yet. Yes, it is attached to Wanda. There is some stuff there. You know, this is the magical side of Marvel, which I think is the vastly underrated side of Marvel. I can't wait till we get full magic in the MCU. I mean, we all remember that Doctor Strange Thanos scene. That is what I want, and that's what this show is briefly hinting at. But I will say, if you are one of those diehard people that need everything hardcore interconnected, that there's massive Easter eggs throughout every moment of dialogue, this is not the show. They definitely want to focus on what they want to focus on, and it's the story of these witches. Specifically, Agatha Harkness trying to gain her powers back, and our teen character, that is what his Locke is just called Teen. I'm not calling him anything else. I know we have our theories. We're not going to talk about that yet. But we have Teen who's also trying to figure out why he's here, why he wants to follow Agatha on this path, and we don't know his name either. So that's kind of interesting. So with these characters, that's the main focus. We are looking at Agatha and Teen gather a coven, walk the witch's road. That is a simple plot, and the show has a very simple, bare bones idea. So each episode, it seems like they're playing with these ideas, allowing that simple idea to manifest into fun themed episodes, into fun adventures through different pop culture references or witch material. Much like WandaVision explored television history, this show is definitely exploring witches and magic and the occult. So that is who this is for. If you are a fan of witches, the occult, things like that, magic, wickedness, this is definitely going to be something you are attracted to. This is also for the fans who love a Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Sabrina, both teenage, Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. If you liked Hocus Pocus, if you are a Nightmare Before Christmas kid, if you liked X-Files, if you loved Supernatural and things like that, this is who this is for. This is classic supernatural television. That's where I think people who are kind of hating this show already, like, who is this for? Yes, the show is definitely camp and queer. We'll talk about that in a moment. But I will say, I like the show for what it is without the camp quality to it. I like shows that explore paranormal things. I am a Monster of the Week diehard fan. Buffy raised me. That woman, that blonde woman, was my mother for a couple years. Like, I love my own mother, but Buffy was mother to so many people. That's who this show is for. If you liked those shows, if you missed those type of shows, to be honest, I don't think that genre is around too often. We don't get them. I think Chilling Adventures of Sabrina was the last time we got something so geared to that. A little bit of Riverdale. I only watched a little bit. I tapped out even myself. But truly, that's what this show is for. And then, as I briefly mentioned, this show is definitely camp, queer, gay, whatever you want to label the show, it definitely fits into that bubble. That doesn't mean that if you are not one of those little labels, if you don't relate to that, you can't enjoy it. I watch straight shit all the time. It's fine. It's cool. We can explore other bubbles and go into other worlds. That's the beauty of television. I want just different things, and this show is offering something different. It is definitely geared for a gay kid. In my interview with Locke, he said that this show feels like his character is the gay kid in a room full of English teachers. These kind of motherly figures, these wonderful women who just want to uplift and educate and show him the ways of their weird worlds. That's what this is. That's definitely what this is, and that's why I think Jack Schaefer, as a filmmaker, her and Kevin Feige and all the creators are really, really awesome for giving the show a chance to even exist. It's definitely not going to be for everyone, but that doesn't mean you can't at least try it. I don't think there's anything scary that's gonna, scare you off. If you're anti-woke stuff, I don't know, gay people are here. Gay people just don't equate woke. We're not lecturing things. We're not sitting here talking about, well, life and society. Yeah, we do that with witches, but that's been around forever. We've literally burned witches at one point in our country. Like, come on. You can't be shocked that this is what we're talking about. Anyways, that is it for who this is for. This was a big thing, but let's get into the actual review because that's what you are here for. So how does Agatha fall into the MCU? Well, the first episode thrust us right into the story, and we are in basically Law & Order Westview. It is a crime drama. We have Agnes in this version, trying to figure out a murder case. There's a body. She needs to figure it out. An old FBI person, played by Aubrey Plaza, comes and says, hey, what's going on here? Maybe you shouldn't be here. Very mysterious. Then she meets a young teen character played by Locke, who breaks into her house and is starting to pull things out of her. We're seeing Agatha, well, I'm not going to call her Agnes. We're seeing Agatha really fall into where she needs to be, who she is. The way Wanda has left the people of Westview, especially after her passing in Multiverse of Madness, it is all crazy, it's all chaotic, and Agatha's really feeling it. So this whole first episode is basically breaking her out of this witchy curse. There is a great scene in the mortuary where we're kind of giving, you see it in the trailer, where we're giving a little bit of the looks and the feels that Agatha had went through in WandaVision, and now she stables on her own look, her own vibe, and she is out to find out what the hell to do. She needs her powers. Basically, I don't remember a lot of her power stuff, but she could only gain power by people blasting her with it. But we know that Wanda took all of Agatha's powers, so she needs something to break out of this cycle and to get back into the witch world. There's a lot more here that we can't even get into in a full review. Like I can't even gather the implications that this has to the magic world. How long has Agatha been around? We briefly touch on that, but I want to see that stuff. Like this little preview, just watching Agatha kind of find herself, go through the cop stuff, which is fun. Kathryn Hahn's performance as Agatha especially this first pilot episode, I think is really fun. It shows her kind of range, and then by episode 2 and then 3 and 4, she's full on comedic witchy wildness, and I appreciate that. But this first episode, we got a bit of a different flair, and I loved where we were by the end of it, with her going, well, I'm gonna figure this out, let's go. Oh boy, there's a young teen boy locked into my closet. I guess he's gonna come along with me, and that's where we get to episode 2. Episode 2 is where things, I think, pick up. I love the humor and the heart of this show, but my goodness, when things get spooky, it gets great. And this second episode ends with some spooky stuff as they approach the Witch's Road. But before that, we have Teen and we have Agatha having to build a coven. You cannot walk the Witch's Road without a coven, so we need people. We need like deviation, we need potions, we need earth magic, we need all these different elements to come together. So Agatha goes through witches from her past to try to gather some stuff up. We meet the one character, she was Kitty on that 70s show, Debra Rupp. She is amazing. She's back as what we believe is a earth magic person because she has a really great garden. It's really fun stuff there. A little bit of details are sprinkled throughout with her character throughout these 2 episodes that I really got to sink my teeth into this character and this actress. And then we have like Aubrey Plaza's character we see throughout. We have Patti LuPone's character, which is kind of into deviations, and she does like tarot cards as her kind of side practice, but she is actual witch. But all of these witches that we meet throughout this journey have all kind of different things. We meet one woman who's been like canceled for her crazy potion stuff that she's been giving people. Each one of these women are not in a great spot. They are kind of outcast among outcasts. That's what I like about this show, is especially for a lot of people in the LGBTQ community, you sometimes feel like a weirdo within the weirdos. Like, we're all supposed to love each other in the gay community, but no, you're weird because you're different and you like this, but you're different because you identify as that. That's what this show reminds me of, is like even the weirdos are outcasted within the weirdos. So as Agatha builds that team, we're seeing them kind of build up. I really love these 2 episodes. I think this is a good way to start the show. Without just episode 2, I think episode 1 is not that strong because you need that double header, and I think this was a good way of getting us into this world, into the story. story. It takes some time, especially with the humor. It took me a moment to get adjusted into the world, get the vibe, get where we were going tonally. And then once we got it, and then especially by the end of episode 2 when the scares pick up and we get to the Witch's Road, I am blown away by what they can do. This show instantly hooked me in. And then by episode 3 and 4, my goodness, I knew I was going to be a stan. Not just a fan, I was going to be a stan of this show. With our coven coming together, we have like Lilia, Jen, we have Alice, Mrs. Hart, Teen. With all of them coming together at the end of episode 2, episode 3 really puts these characters to the test. Literally, episode 3 and 4 are tests that these witches have to face on the Witch's Road. And it's hard. People may not survive. Like, it gets pretty intense. I'm not going to say much because I know the Marvel ninjas will come after me and I'm not messing with them. But episode 3 has a bit of a poison challenge. There is this really chic decor. Everyone's outfit changes. It's a really fun thing. This is something I really love about this show, is that they allow outfits to change, that we allow costumes, and we allow this high fantasy in each one. I love the vibe of episode 3. Very clean, very futuristic. That's the poison one. We need to figure out what to do with this kind of challenge that these witches meet. Episode 4 is all about curses. We get a generational curse that's been passed along. There's a bit of a music curse. I love that old school thing where you play music backwards and you can hear secret messages. Again, all that occult stuff, all that witchy stuff is perfectly explained here. So episode 4 is another test for these coven, and maybe new people get mixed into the fold. Maybe we're learning more about each character. Maybe this episode ends with a cliffhanger that made me go, well, I had already been thinking this, but what do you mean by that? I love the end of episode 4. It was one of those things the Marvel press people got me because that episode ended, and I said, like a fiend, I said, but where's episode 5? Where's that episode 5 at? And I need it. Like, I'm a light, casual Marvel person. I like it. I watch what I get sent most of the time. But this show has me hooked to the point where I'm like, what do I need to do? Do I need to conjure up a spell in my house to get the rest of these episodes? Because give them to me now. I need this. Episode 1 and 2 are strong. Episode 3 and 4 are great, with 4 ending with a cliffhanger I cannot wait for y'all to start trying to theorize on. We have a lot to get into, but that is it for my breakdown of Agatha All Along. I told you guys who this show was for, and I know it could have offended some people, but truly watch it. Give it a chance. It's worth it. I told you guys about those first 2 episodes, and I gave you a preview of what is to come. What did you guys think of this video? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe. I will be reviewing Agatha All Along as we get into it. If you want reviews for episodes 3 and 4, let me know down in the comments. Subscribe to this channel, give me a thumbs up, and make sure you guys check out our interview with creator Jack Schaefer and actor Joe Locke. Amazing people. I had a blast talking with them. Such a great interview. It's been so warmly received by the Agatha fan base, specifically that Joe fan base. Y'all are passionate. I love y'all. All right, guys, let's talk about Agatha All Along and witchy stuff right down below.